Nobody is an action thriller movie released in 2021. The most interesting thing is this film have same writer with the John Wick series, Derek Kolstad. Also the same producer, David Leitch. Not surprising there are some similarities in style and characters with John Wick series, but I will make sure this film has a story plot that is quite different from John Wick. Starred with Bob Odenkirk as Hutch Mansell. In this movie we will see a story of an ordinary man. With an intense action that wrap around this film, it will keep you in the edge of the seat. Enjoy watching and so hear story of nobody.
I'm nobody.
Nobody opens with one old man, blood and face, handcuff and kitten that would sit quietly inside Odenkirk's jacket in an interrogation room. Next scene we will see a montage of the mundanity of Hutch Mansell's daily existence. Every day, he scans the same transit card. Every week, he misses the trash man by mere seconds. Hutch Mansell is seemingly ordinary man. He has 2 children, Blake and Sammy. His wife Becca has an unremarkable job as an office worker in his father-in-law Eddie's metal fabrication company and generally keeps to himself.
I was just trying to keep damage to a minimum.
Yeah, how's that working out for you?
One night, Hutch's residence was visited by 2 thieves break into his house. For some reason Hutch let the robber go after take a small amount of money on the table. But his son, Blake, ambushed one of the thieves. The other thief holding a gun was distracted. Hutch grabbed a golf club and intended to hit the thief. Instead hit the thief, for unknown reason, Hutch asked his son to release the thief and let them both escape. Just like that. As a result, his eldest son was very disappointed with Hutch's actions. Plus the attitude of the police who seemed to be showing their disappointment towards this father figure. He could not deny that the incident had a negative impact on the views of others towards him. Which is enough evidence that Hutch's figure as a father and protector of the family began to get doubts from his wife and eldest child.
We're gonna get out of your hair. You just leave that garage door closed, okay?
Finally revealed an interesting fact about the reason why he had to not fight that night. Hutch already knew about the 2 thieves. They were both a husband and wife who were most likely experiencing economic problems. If they were professional thieves, there is no way they did the theft for only a small amount of money. What was most interesting of all was that the gun they used that night had no bullets at all. That's a very strong reason why not fight back. After work, Hutch went to the nursing home to visit his father. His father could only sit on the sofa while watching TV. When he came home, Hutch was standing right in front of the house where he saw his own family. He felt disappointed with himself who failed to be a protective figure for the family. When he entered the house, his wife and eldest child still ignored him. When the chubby complains about his lost collar and maybe the 2 thieves got carried away last night, Hutch quickly returned to where his father lived to borrow in his old FBI ID and his gun. With the tattoo on the thief's arm that he saw that night as a clue, Hutch plans to find the 2 thieves and take back his daughter's bracelet.
I'm just a man who's looking for someone.
Soon after interrogated someone, Hutch seen already at the residence of the 2 thieves. Hutch entered the house quickly and immediately asked for his daughter's bracelet back. But when he was just about to do more than that, his action suddenly stopped when he saw the baby of the 2 thieves crying. Hutch couldn't bear it either and left. Upset himself and banging on the walls until his hands bleed. Hutch returned by bus with all the feeling annoyed that failed to be acted. Luck on Hutch's side, there is a group of youths who were drunk and get into the bus. This made Hutch smile instantly because he finally got an easy target to be used as an outlet for his crazy anger. Hutch takes out his frustration by savagely beating them under the pretense of protecting a young woman. Hutch let the driver to exit and then go back to the bus and lock the door. There was a 1-on-5 fight. This scene is shown realistically and it really drains your adrenaline. He won the fight with several wounds on his body. He made the 5th youth was seriously injured and some even dying. By this point it was clear that Hutch was not just ordinary man. At home, his wife surprised with the number of wounds on the body Hutch. Without question, he too treated Hutch and accompanied him until he fell asleep. Later that night, a man is rushing to the bar. That man is Yulian Kuznetsov, a notorious Russian mob enforcer. After he speak with the shareholder in the bar, he got a call to tell him that his brother is in hospital. Julian was furious and tried to interrogate one by one brother friend about actors who have made his brother battered. One of his friends managed to get Hutch's work ID card. In the morning, Hutch wake up and soon got a phone call from a friend who accompanied him on the radio usual. His friend was warned about what happened last night, that one of the people who got beat Hutch is a family member of a Russian mafia like that Julian. Turns out, one of the thug that Hutch had savagely beat in the bus is Julian's brother. Although Julian despises his brother, he feels an obligation to avenge him. Hutch realizes he hasn't been actively communicating with his family and is inspired by his renewed self-esteem to reconnect with them. Later Hutch sees a man who he referred as the barber, who provides Hutch with information about one of his victims. After seeing the documents about Julian, Hutch has no regrets about what he did last night and will face every risk for his actions. In other place, Julian gave his staff his work ID to one of the government officials to track down the address and everything about the Hutch. What a shock to find out that Hutch is a very dangerous person. We can see some photos that show the Hutch in the past. The staff decided not to interfere and resigned from his job right away. When Hutch and his family were having dinner, Julian unexpectedly moved faster than expected. He sends some troops to Hutch's house to kill him and his whole family. However, Hutch hides his family and kills most of the attackers before Pavel tasers him. Hutch asked his family to enter the basement, where they were all confused and shocked when they found out that their basement had quite advanced technology. When Yuli's troops entered for a moment, I was reminded of the John Wick movie. When his house was visited by several troops sent by a Russian mafia named Vigo. Still remember? Now I'm even more curious what Hutch will do to Julian troops. The fact that Hutch turned out to have a brutal soul, twice as sadistic as John Wick. He resisted attacks and slaughtered most of Julian's troops so madly. But in the end he had to be caught for being electrocuted from behind. While on the way, the Hutch was able to remove the handcuffs quite easily and make their car roll over, which made the three troops die horribly. Hutch returned to his house and cleaned himself up. Calmly, he took his wife and child out and saw so many bodies scattered. Then he told them to go to a safe place until the situation was under control. The wife also asks about what really happened, but Hutch asks her to believe that this situation will improve again. Meanwhile, the father, who was in the nursing home, was visited by two of Julian's messengers. They intended to kill him. Two Julian goons came to kill Hutch's father, but Hutch managed to warn him. You will be really surprised when you see the two messengers do not move at all in front of this gecko. It turned out to be more dangerous than imagined. His father killed the attacker with a shotgun hidden under his blanket. Hutch then finds the kitty cat bracelet that his daughter searched for under the sofa. After that, he burned his house down to get rid of the evidence. After blowing up the house and all the bodies of Julian's troops, Yuli was quite surprised to find out that all the troops he sent were killed, plus one of his troops was his favorite assistant, just like Vigo, who had messed with the wrong person, John Wick. After that, Hutch buy Eddie's company with a stash of gold bars. He then contact Harry talking about the Russian mob. Harry then rejected, saying he won't coming to save Hutch. After that, Hutch left to where Julian is keeping the Obshak money and proceed to burns the money that Julian protect for the mob. After burning the whole building, Hutch then gone into the bar that Julian owned. In there, Hutch sit to watch Julian sing. When Julian mob pointed guns at him, he revealed that he have a bomb ready to explode. He then threatened him to stay away from him and his family. There was a chase in the car, hundreds of bullets were shot, and when he arrived right in front of the company he had bought, Hutch was helped by the person who shot from above, who turned out to be a person who often spoke on the radio, as well as his father's adopted son, who was considered his own brother by Hutch. This man's name is Harry. But that wasn't a surprise, because suddenly Hutch's old father helped him hold a gun and join the war. They both planned to help Hutch take down these evil Russian mobsters. Inside the factory, Hutch with his brother and father eliminate the gangsters using a variety of weapons and deadly traps Hutch had set up. They kill all of the gunmen with the exception of Julian, who shoots and wounds Harry. Hutch charges him with a claymore mine attached to a bulletproof shield and detonates it, killing Julian. After ensuring that his father and brother escape, Hutch is arrested. After all this ended, Hutch was arrested and interrogated by two policemen. They were both very shocked by the hundreds of human bodies at the location and could not believe that Hutch had done it all alone. Soon, one of the policemen got a phone call followed by the other, where they got a call from the same person who seemed very important. The surprise was that they both apologized for catching Hutch and just let him go without anything bothering him in the slightest. When the cop asked who you really were, Hutch replied, "I'm nobody."
Me, I'm nobody.
3 months later, a relator shows Hutch and Becca around a new home. At first, it seems to be a moment showing that Hutch has given up his old ways and is firmly committed to his family. But suddenly, their realtor receives 2 calls back to back. Becca encourages her to answer the phone, and it turns out the call is for Hutch. The audience isn't privy to the conversation, but the couple subsequently asks if the house has a basement.
Does this house have a
basement?
Earlier in the movie, Hutch sent his family to their secured basement after he realized they were in danger. His response to the mysterious phone call insinuates that he is a working assassin once again. Post-credits scene sees Harry and David on a very specific mission. The scene picks up with the father and son duo after they escape the showdown with the Russian characters in Nobody. Their mission is likely related to the contents of Hutch's phone call in the final scene. They're driving in an RV and seem to have a very specific destination in mind. The camera pans to the back of the RV and sees that it is stocked to the brim with various weapons. Harry was previously thought to be dead, and as David lived in a retirement home, he was thought to be long retired. But it's clear that these two are back in action. Nobody demonstrates that Hutch is a family man. He will give anything to protect his family, and he thrives working side by side with them. So that means that Harry and David are likely heading back to wherever Hutch has settled in order to help him carry out this next job. We still have plenty movie like this. Click this link to watch Voyager's movie. This movie was written by Neil Berger, who also directed the first Divergent movie. While you at it, hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe. You might even want to hit that bell and get notified every new video comes out. Alright, I will see you soon on the next video. Later.